Think about it. What if your financial struggles weren't the result of a lack of intelligence or effort, but because you've been following the wrong system? What if biblical principles could unlock doors to supernatural increase, allowing you to create wealth without compromising your values? Throughout history, God-fearing entrepreneurs from Abraham to Joseph prospered because they aligned their businesses with divine wisdom. In this video, we will explore 8 powerful biblical mindsets that separate ordinary entrepreneurs from those who build lasting legacies. Whether you're just starting out, expanding your business, or seeking a major financial breakthrough, these principles will transform the way you see money, leadership, and success. Are you ready to follow God's blueprint for business? Then let's get started. Yes, we can. Faith and obedience in entrepreneurship. When faced with challenges, many people hesitate, fearing failure or lack of resources. However, biblical entrepreneurship teaches that faith is the foundation of success. Just like David, who faced Goliath with nothing but a sling and faith in God, entrepreneurs must step forward even when the odds seem overwhelming. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the certainty that God provides opportunities and opens doors when we act with courage and obedience. The corporate world often advises sticking to what is safe and predictable, avoiding risks at all costs. But successful entrepreneurs, both in the Bible and today, understand that great rewards come to those who step outside their comfort zones. Abraham left his homeland without knowing where God was leading him, yet his obedience resulted in generational blessings. Business owners who embrace faith-based risk-taking often find that solutions emerge where they least expect. In business, saying yes we can does not mean ignoring challenges, but trusting that God provides wisdom and resources along the way. Many successful companies began with leaders who took steps in faith despite uncertainties. The widow in 2 Kings 4:1-7 had only a small jar of oil, but when she obeyed the prophet Elisha's instructions, her oil multiplied abundantly. Likewise, entrepreneurs must act on faith, trusting that small beginnings can lead to great increase. Every new business opportunity carries an element of uncertainty, but instead of letting fear dictate decisions, entrepreneurs must rely on biblical principles. Philippians 4:13 reminds us, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." This mindset transforms the way entrepreneurs approach obstacles. By embracing faith and obedience, they open doors to divine provision and supernatural opportunities, often leading to breakthroughs that defy logic. Problem first, not product first. Serve before you profit. The business world often prioritizes product innovation, but biblical wisdom teaches that true success comes from solving real problems. Entrepreneurs who focus on serving others before seeking profit build businesses with strong foundations. Joseph, in Egypt, did not start by selling a product. He identified a crisis, 7 years of famine, and provided a solution that saved an entire nation. Genesis 41. Likewise, great businesses today emerge when leaders recognize people's needs and create solutions. Many entrepreneurs fail because they focus too much on selling, rather than understanding the struggles of their customers. Large companies often introduce new and improved products without solving real problems, just like the ever-changing variations of Coca-Cola. However, successful business owners take a different approach. They listen first. Proverbs 18:13 warns, "To answer before listening, that is folly and shame." Entrepreneurs who apply this wisdom create products and services that genuinely improve lives. Identifying problems first allows entrepreneurs to offer high-value solutions. Jesus modeled this in his ministry. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, and met people's needs before teaching them spiritual truths. This principle applies to business. When you meet a need, people naturally trust and invest in your solution. Instead of asking, "What can I sell?" a successful entrepreneur asks, "What problem can I solve?" This mindset shifts business from mere transactions to lasting impact. A great example is financial coaching. Instead of merely selling courses on budgeting, a wise entrepreneur first studies why people struggle with finances. Is it lack of knowledge, poor habits, fear of investing? By addressing the real pain points, they create meaningful solutions. Ecclesiastes 11:6 encourages entrepreneurs to be proactive. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed. When business is built on service, profit naturally follows. Think small before thinking big. The strategy of faithful beginnings. Many aspiring entrepreneurs dream of building massive companies but overlook the power of starting small. The Bible teaches that God blesses those who are faithful with little before entrusting them with more. In Matthew 25:14-30, the parable of the talents highlights this principle. Those who wisely managed small amounts were rewarded with greater responsibility. Likewise, business success is not about instant growth but about mastering the small steps first. Corporate strategies often emphasize targeting massive markets immediately, but wise entrepreneurs focus on niche markets before expanding. Nike, for example, started by making shoes only for elite long-distance runners before expanding into global sportswear. Similarly, successful faith-based businesses should begin by mastering a specific service, perfecting their operations, and building trust within a smaller audience. Proverbs 22:29 states, "Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings." Mastery leads to elevation. The danger of thinking too big too soon is that businesses stretch resources too thin and lose focus. Many startups collapse because they attempt to serve everyone rather than becoming the best at one thing first. Even Jesus started his ministry by focusing on a small group of disciples before reaching the masses. The lesson? Excellence in small things prepares the foundation for expansion. Entrepreneurs should be diligent in small beginnings, knowing that growth follows consistency. An entrepreneur following this principle might start by serving a local community with high-quality products before considering national expansion. A Christian financial coach might begin by helping individuals in their church before launching online courses for a wider audience. Zechariah 4:10 reminds us, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." God honors those who start faithfully, and their businesses will naturally grow in His timing. Seek resources without depending on debt. The importance of cash flow. One of the biggest financial traps for entrepreneurs is relying too much on debt. The Bible warns against excessive borrowing, as seen in Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Many businesses fail because they begin with heavy loans rather than building sustainable cash flow. Biblical wisdom teaches that financial independence is achieved through careful management, patience, and trusting God's provision. Smart entrepreneurs understand that money should flow into their businesses before major investments are made. Tesla, for example, secured pre-orders for its cars before production even began, ensuring they had upfront cash. The widow in 2 Kings 4:1-7 experienced a similar principle. She used the little oil she had, and through obedience, God multiplied it to pay off her debts. In business, focusing on revenue generation first prevents unnecessary dependence on external funding. A strong financial foundation comes from reinvesting profits rather than accumulating loans. Many successful entrepreneurs bootstrap their businesses, starting small, reinvesting wisely, and scaling gradually. In contrast, those who rely on heavy debt often face stress, limited flexibility, and the risk of losing everything. Proverbs 21:5 advises, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." Slow, steady growth leads to lasting success. A practical way to apply this principle is by selling a product or service before fully building it. For instance, an entrepreneur launching a financial education course could first validate demand by pre-selling access. This approach ensures income before committing large expenses. The biblical principle of stewardship reminds us to manage resources wisely, trusting that God blesses faithfulness with increase. Entrepreneurs who prioritize cash flow over debt walk in greater financial freedom and stability. Use resources wisely without owning everything. The principle of financial stewardship. Many entrepreneurs believe they need to own all resources to succeed, but biblical wisdom teaches that good stewardship often involves leveraging what is already available. In Luke 16:10, Jesus states, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." This applies to business. Wise entrepreneurs maximize existing assets, partnerships, and opportunities instead of overspending on unnecessary ownership. Successful businesses often thrive by using shared or borrowed resources. For example, Airbnb became a billion-dollar company without owning a single hotel. Likewise, in the Bible, Nehemiah rebuilt Jerusalem's walls with the help of resources from a foreign king. Nehemiah 2:7-8. Smart entrepreneurs identify ways to access the tools they need without taking on unnecessary costs, allowing them to scale effectively. The key is to form strategic partnerships and make the most of available assets. A new entrepreneur might collaborate with existing businesses instead of purchasing expensive equipment. A Christian business owner might partner with churches or community groups to expand their reach without heavy marketing costs. Ecclesiastes 4:9 reminds us, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor." Collaboration multiplies success. One practical application is renting or outsourcing non-essential operations. Instead of taking a large loan to buy office space, a business could start remotely. Instead of hiring a full-time team, outsourcing key tasks can optimize efficiency. By applying biblical principles of stewardship, entrepreneurs can avoid financial burdens while growing their businesses wisely. Success doesn't come from owning everything. It comes from managing resources effectively with wisdom and faith. Don't wait for permission to act. Courageous execution over approval. Many aspiring entrepreneurs delay action because they seek validation from others. However, biblical leadership teaches that success comes to those who step out in faith, even when approval is not guaranteed. Nehemiah didn't wait for his people's approval to rebuild Jerusalem's walls. He acted with boldness, trusting that God had given him the vision. Nehemiah 2:17-18. Likewise, entrepreneurs must have the courage to move forward without waiting for perfect conditions. The business world often discourages action without extensive research and bureaucratic approvals. However, many disruptive companies like Uber succeeded because they acted first and navigated regulations later. This principle is seen in the Bible as well. When Peter saw Jesus walking on water, he didn't wait for permission. He stepped out of the boat in faith, Matthew 14:29. While others hesitated, he experienced something miraculous. Entrepreneurs who take action often see opportunities that others miss. Taking bold steps does not mean being reckless, but rather acting with wisdom and faith. Proverbs 16:3 states, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." Business owners who trust God's guidance rather than relying solely on human approval often find unexpected doors opening. Whether launching a new product, starting a company, or making a big career move, waiting for everyone's permission can mean missing divine opportunities. A practical way to apply this mindset is by testing ideas in small ways before seeking large-scale approval. Instead of waiting for a perfect business plan, an entrepreneur can launch a simple prototype or beta version. Instead of waiting for a large investor, they can start with what they have. Just as David didn't wait for a soldier's approval to fight Goliath, successful entrepreneurs act boldly, trusting that God has already prepared the way. Be strategic, but depend on God. Planning with purpose. Every successful business requires strategy, but true wisdom comes from seeking God's guidance in every step. Proverbs 16:9 states, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." While planning is necessary, relying solely on human wisdom leads to frustration. Entrepreneurs who seek God's direction find clarity, avoid costly mistakes, and experience supernatural favor in their business journeys. Many business leaders create detailed strategies but fail because they overlook the spiritual aspect of decision-making. Nehemiah is a perfect biblical example. He carefully planned the reconstruction of Jerusalem's walls, but he also fasted and prayed before taking action. Nehemiah 1:4-11. A wise entrepreneur should combine strong business strategy with biblical principles, ensuring that every decision aligns with God's will. Depending on God does not mean ignoring strategy. It means allowing faith to guide business decisions. Successful Christian entrepreneurs prioritize integrity, generosity, and service, knowing that financial success is a byproduct of obedience. Matthew 6:33 reminds us, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." When business leaders put God first, they experience blessings that human effort alone cannot achieve. If you want to start or even grow your business with a solid, risk-free platform, try Supedia. With Supedia Limitless, you get courses, ebooks, full masterclasses, and even a ready-to-use business plan to guide you to success. And the best part? 100% risk-free. If you don't love it, you have 14 days for a full refund. No questions asked. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description and pinned comment now. A practical way to apply this principle is through prayerful planning. Before launching a business, expanding, or making a major investment, entrepreneurs should seek divine wisdom. Journaling business goals, praying over financial decisions, and consulting godly mentors are powerful ways to ensure a venture aligns with biblical truth. Strategic planning, when combined with faith, leads to businesses that prosper with purpose. Multiply talents and people, leadership and business growth. A true entrepreneur does not just accumulate wealth, but multiplies talents, resources, and people. Jesus exemplified this leadership principle by training disciples who continued his work even after he left. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, teaches that God expects us to grow and multiply what he entrusts to us. Business owners who develop teams, delegate wisely, and invest in others build companies that endure. Many businesses fail because their leaders try to do everything alone. Moses faced this challenge. He was overwhelmed with responsibilities until his father-in-law Jethro advised him to appoint capable leaders to help govern the people. Exodus 18:17-23. Entrepreneurs who refuse to delegate limit their growth. By mentoring others and empowering employees, business owners create strong organizations with long-term impact. Successful companies invest in leadership development. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." A wise entrepreneur surrounds themselves with skilled, trustworthy individuals. Instead of micromanaging, they equip their teams with the tools, knowledge, and confidence to excel. When employees grow, the business prospers. A practical way to apply this principle is by implementing leadership training and mentorship programs. Entrepreneurs should identify and nurture future leaders within their businesses, encouraging innovation and responsibility. The goal is not just financial success, but creating a legacy that outlasts the founder. A truly blessed business is one that multiplies not just profits, but also people, wisdom, and purpose. Now that you've discovered these 8 powerful biblical mindsets for business success, the question is, how will you apply them? Simply knowing these principles won't change your financial situation. Action is what makes the difference. Entrepreneurs who align their businesses with God's wisdom don't just survive economic challenges, they thrive and create a lasting impact. Which of these principles spoke to your heart the most? Are you ready to trust God's plan for your finances, take a step of faith, and build something that glorifies Him? Remember, the greatest transformations happen when we put what we learn into practice. Take the first step today, whether it's starting small, shifting your mindset, or seeking God's guidance before making financial decisions. Write in the comments, "The mindset of heaven guides my business and finances," and witness the powerful change in your life and business through this declaration of faith. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss more faith-based strategies for financial and business success. God has a purpose for your business. Don't wait to step into it. See you in the next video.